All right, everybody. Welcome to the Long Island Band of Brothers. Our special guest tonight is Dr. Daniel Tew. He's out of Georgia, right in Marietta, right by the college. Um, Worked his way up through the Georgia Council, and now he's the president of the Georgia Council. Also been responsible for writing some of the laws down there. So, Dr. Dan, nice to meet you. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
All right. So, whatever Nate has told you to share with us, the floor is yours. You got 20 to 30 minutes if you need it. In the meantime, thank you very much for coming on.
Okay, great. Well, I guess first, I just like to start with an attitude of gratitude for being asked to be on the call tonight. Band of Brothers has been a big part of me, getting rooted in chiropractic personally. Just a little backstory on me. I don't know this group obviously, and so if you're a little newer here to this group, just know that these Band of Brothers meetings are, in my mind and my head and in my heart, they're kind of sacred. They really do help people. I attended my very first Band of Brothers up in Rome, Georgia, at Brian Lieberman's office, which I'm sure most of you guys know him. And that was about 16 years ago that I went up there, and it was right after I graduated. And I'll be honest, I just didn't really know that much about chiropractic. I was young, really young, number one, early 20s, and I was confused about what chiropractic was. I certainly didn't know what principled chiropractic was, or straight or subluxation based chiropractic was. And so I was just a confused guy that was trying to figure out, kind of my path. And quite honestly, my first instinct after graduation, I was so scared about, what to do with practice and what to do in life and all of that, my first thought was, hey, I'm just going to keep on going in my schooling, and I'm going to go on and I'm going to become a medical doctor. That's how far off base I was in terms of what I had just accomplished and what chiropractic was. So, but Lord willing, I wound up out at Brian's office and sat down. I remember walking into his office, and it was just this beautiful place, huge, old historic building the walls were just covered with, pictures of happy, healthy families, and testimonials all over the place, and 8 or 9 chiropractic adjusting tables. And he was talking to us about the volume that he did and what they did in the office. And I was just like awestruck. I was literally just like, oh my God, like if I could do this, then I would absolutely stay in chiropractic. This is like what, it just resonated so well with me. And so at the end of that meeting, I had the opportunity to chat with Brian, and honestly, I just asked him. I said, hey, Brian, I was like, if all of these different things that we had talked about tonight outside of chiropractic could help chiropractors, or I'm sorry, could help patients, why wouldn't we do them? And his answer was simple, but it set the tone, honestly, for the rest of the last 15, 16 years of my chiropractic life, which really was just, hey, we only do it if it's chiropractic. And it was kind of at that moment that I realized that I didn't even really know what chiropractic was and what it was all about. And when people talked about principled chiropractic and things of that nature, that I really had no clue what that was. And so I just dug in, and it resonated well with me. The people there were just so loving and giving, and so I started just getting to these Band of Brothers meetings back in 15 years ago. We were kind of just getting them started up, and Georgia was one of the only chapters. And I remember we would go out every Monday night. We would make this 2-hour drive out to Rome, Georgia. And we did that for years. We probably did that for a decade. Every single Monday night we would drive out there. And honestly, with the exception of a few, like nobody really missed. Our group was just like so tight knit. It was just like this awesome, true Band of Brothers that we could call on. And so Banner Brothers, like I said, has a special spot in my heart. This group, I hope you guys have those types of relationships with each other. And if you don't, or if you're newer to the group, like I said, I'm not sure the dynamics here, but just know that this movement, which obviously was born out of Dynamic Essentials, out of DE, but this movement can be a powerful tool for you guys to make sure that you're doing the things that you want to do in your practice. Your practice are thriving, your life is thriving. You know, you're just having this joy-filled experience. And that's what Band of Brothers and ultimately Dynamic Essentials and learning what this principle was all about, and learning what chiropractic was all about, really gave me for the last 15 years. I always, when I get the opportunity to speak at DE or really anywhere, I just say, hey, you know, I just like to give credit where credit is due, so to speak. And I always tell people, you know, my whole understanding of chiropractic was born out of Dr. Sid's movement, Dynamic Essentials, and ultimately Band of Brothers. And I can honestly trace most of the good things in my life back to Dynamic Essentials, or back to Band of Brothers, and back to the principles that we learned at these meetings. And I'm still very actively involved in DE. I had to jump off a call 2 minutes ago for DE. They were doing a speakers call for Dynamic Essentials, and you know, now that we kind of have this like figured out a little bit, it's like I'm enjoying plugging into it in a different way. So again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me on the call. A couple of things that just kind of popped into my head when I was thinking about doing this call for you guys, and just kind of sharing what was on my heart. You know, this year, there's been a lot of time in my life for reflection. There's been a lot of like just ups and downs, the things that happen in practice, all of that. And you know, when I started to think about, you know, what is it, you know, like if you just had a few minutes to talk to a group of chiropractors, what would you want them to know? And I basically came up with 3 or 4 things that just have always stuck out to me. Okay, one of them I think I kind of already shared, and that is, you know, we have to get really solid in the principle. We have to know what chiropractic is, what it is that we're delivering, how important it is, and just how much the population and the general public need it, and they have no idea that they even need it. You know, chiropractic actually is something. It is not all things. It is one thing. And we, as the principled movement, the principled organizations, the Band of Brothers, the Dynamic Essentials, we have to have that knot. We have to have that thing to anchor to in life. And for me, it's the principle of chiropractic, which obviously is that, you know, life flows from above down, inside out, that there is intelligence in the body, and that there is interference to that intelligence. And whenever that gets interfered with, then life just doesn't work out the way that we want it to, or the way that our patients want it to. And what we need to do as a group, especially with how hard principled chiropractic is being attacked right now, even by groups that you would just never have thought it would have happened. I don't know how involved everybody is with, you know, with the politics of chiropractic. Like you mentioned, I've been a part of the GCC now for quite a while. Had the opportunity and the honor to serve as the president for the last 4 years, and the 4 years before that as the vice president. I'm actually wrapping up this year in December. But it's just incredible how many stones and how many arrows are being thrown at principled chiropractic right now. And so for those of us that truly love chiropractic, that truly love the principle of chiropractic and what it is that chiropractic stands for, we have to get rooted in this principle. You know, it's Dr. Sid, I think, said, "Who can anchor to an unanchored mind?" It's like that's the first and foremost step that we need to take. So if you're faltering on that, if you're wavering on that, if you're not quite sure what this whole, you know, chiropractic thing is, this whole principled thing is, make sure that you dig in with people that are solid, people that do know. If you don't know, you know, or if you're not sure who to call me. I'll call people. I can hook you up with people. Come to Dynamic Essentials. I'm telling you, that is where I learned everything that I know really about chiropractic, about how to run an office, about how to run a successful principled office. All of those principles are timeless. Okay, just because Dr. Sid started that 62 years ago doesn't mean that any of those principles are no longer relevant in today's landscape. So step one, just become rooted in the principle. Just know that you know that you know what this thing is and what we stand for as the principled side, as the principled organizations in chiropractic. Because like I said, right now there's a lot of people coming for it. And we need the support, we need the help, but also just day to day in our offices, it's really hard for patients to anchor to this huge idea of chiropractic and just how amazing it can be in their life if they would just adopt it the way that we explain it, if we aren't even sure of it ourselves. Okay. So step one, just know that you know that you know. Okay. Step two, I would say, is to absolutely in your practice and in your life, just really commit to the lasting purpose principle that Dr. Sid laid out. And for those of you that may be rusty on it or unfamiliar with it altogether, lasting purpose really was laid out by Dr. Sid as something to give you purpose no matter what was going on in your life. And actually, even no matter what aspect of your life you're talking about, whether it was your family or whether it was your finances or whether it was your practice or whether it was your church or whatever it might be, the whole idea with lasting purpose was to give and to love and to serve out of our own abundance, to take that big abundance of love that we as principled chiropractors have and just give it out to the world freely. And here's the most important part, is to do that with no expectation of return. Okay. So to give, to love, and to serve out of your own abundance with absolutely no expectation or preconceived ideas about what you're going to gain or what the return is going to be for doing it. You know, we have a slogan in our office is that we do the right thing, no matter what it is, when it needs to be done, whether we like it or not. I didn't make it up. I heard it at DE, but it just resonates with me. We just do the right thing no matter what is going on, okay? And the blessings of obedience will eventually start to fill in your life in whatever areas you need it, whether you're lacking finances or whether you're lacking, a solid family life, or whether you're lacking a good spiritual life, whatever it might be. If you truly give out of your own abundance, if you give from that place that just is inside of you where you know that you're doing the right thing, your life starts to turn around. And it takes time and it takes work and all of those things, but most good things in life do. And we actually have it, and it's free to give. It's free to give to everybody. So adopt that lasting purpose lifestyle, adopt that lasting purpose principle so that you are doing the things that you need to do to see your life grow in all different areas and all different aspects. Like I mentioned, whenever I first started out in chiropractic, very, very lost. And so it was one of the only things that I knew to do. They told me to do it. They said, just give and give and give, just serve and serve and serve. And honestly, after doing it for years and years and years, your life does start to fill in. I really can, like I mentioned, I can trace so many good things in my life back to DE and back to these types of principles that we learned at DE. And one of the ones that I love to bring up or to brag about or to mention is that, honestly, I met my wife at DE. When I first came to DE, I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have a family. That wasn't for me. That wasn't my thing, right? And I met this amazing woman there, and now we have two beautiful kids, okay? And we have a beautiful home, and we have two beautiful practices, and we've been able to do all these different things in chiropractic and in our life and all these different areas. And it all came from this. It all came from this stuff that Dr. Sid just taught to us back. I was fortunate enough to see Dr. Sid. It was kind of at the end of his time. I'm sure some of you guys were around much more presently than I was. But that message, that he passed to the leaders, and Dr. Umber, thank God, is still with us. And, he was on the call just earlier, and the guy's more fired up than most people in chiropractic, even right now, after how many decades of doing this. And he's in his 90s, and he's just on the phone call trying to get us fired up about this principled chiropractic. And so, when you let it permeate you, like when you let it get like into your soul, one of the beautiful things is that it really can help guide you through the good times and guide you through the bad times. I was listening to a preacher on Facebook. It was like a reel the other day, and I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I think I have it saved. I'll text it to you if anybody's interested. But he basically said, this is what I want you to know about the season that you're in, because I know that I don't know how many people are on this call, 10 people or something like that. 10 people on this call, there's going to be 10 different perspectives of life right now. Some of us on this call may be in some of the best place we've ever been in our entire life. From a family standpoint, from a practice standpoint, from a financial standpoint, and you are just riding high right now. And I am so happy that you have those blessings if that's where you are right now. And there's some people on this call that are going to be at the complete opposite end of that spectrum right now. I mean, even as we're all just sharing. And there's a lot of people that probably feel like they've just been muddling around for the last however many years, and they're not really going up and they're not really going down, and life really isn't changing, and they're just whatever. Okay. So this is what he had to say. He just said, listen, no matter what stage of life you are in right now, no matter what season of life, I can promise if you're in good seasons, there's going to be trials to come. And if you're in the trials right now and you're in those, just know that there's good seasons that will be coming down the road. And so I say that just to say that if you anchor to this, and this is what it's been for me, it may be something different for you, but if you can anchor to something like lasting purpose, if you can anchor to this principled chiropractic message and to giving and to loving and to serving out of our own abundance, no matter what's going on and with no expectation of return, then you're able to do that, and it can help you ride through any one of those seasons of life, okay? It can help you extend the good times. It can help you get through the bad times. If you're feeling kind of stuck, if you turn it on and you turn it up, it absolutely can get you to the next level. So revisit that. I know everybody, this isn't groundbreaking stuff that I'm like coming up with and I'm going to write my next big book. This is all just stuff that I've heard from other people. But revisit that concept of lasting purpose and making sure that you have it tattooed on your heart and that it's sitting deep inside you, because it is something that can get you through to the next level or strengthen the good things that are already going on in your life. And another thing that Dr. Sid always used to say is that, persistence alone is omnipotent. Okay. So persistency alone is omnipotent. And I have seen that so many times in my life. Like we were just talking in all of these different seasons of life, it's like, just keep going, just keep going. Okay. There's going to be the good times, there's going to be the bad times, but if you just keep going towards what your true north is, if you just keep going to anchoring to what is the right things, I promise you that you will get through it. I promise you that life will get better if you need it to get better. I promise you all of those things, because I can say that with confidence because I've seen it happen in my own life. We have had some really good years. We've had some years that we've struggled. We've had years that we've gotten distracted. We are wrapping up probably one of the tougher years of my life, if I'm being 100% transparent. There was just a lot on our plate. We were renovating our house. We were buying new property. We're trying to sell some property. We lost a whole bunch of staff. We're in between staff right now. I mean, it was just like boom, 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 just all these different things going on. And what I just kept coming back to was just like, this is our job. This is our mission. Let's just stay focused on it. Let's just keep going. And in the end, things will work out. In the end, you will get through it. You will get to that next point in life. You will get to that next stage. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you do. And you can look back and you can say, hey, you know what? We did it. We made it through. And now we're on to those blessings. And the blessing of obedience is starting to flow and you can feel it. I got to tell you, after the last DE, and I don't know how often anyone on this call visits DE, but I encourage you. DE is actually this weekend. But I encourage you to come down, especially if you're in one of those droughts, if you're in one of those lower points in life, or something that you're struggling with. I would just encourage you to come down, reconnect with people, or if you've never been, go and connect with people. There's just such a wealth of love and a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information there, that can be tapped into. After the last DE, I went in and like I said, it's just been a rough year, one of those exhausting years. It's just hitting you from every side. And I left there and I was just so like full of the spirit, just so full of this chiropractic principle thing, that honestly, I didn't want to do anything for a whole week. I felt like I was just riding on cloud nine. And you get to see that little bit of hope and that little bit of light in it. So just find that thing that you can anchor to. For me, it's lasting purpose. I try to live my life kind of just with this idea that if we do the right things for a long enough period of time, that things will work out the way that we're supposed to. And I truly believe that we are carrying such a big message. And it's something that maybe we downplay as chiropractors a little bit because we're so used to it. We're so used to having this blessing of chiropractic in our life that we forget that the average person, like 70, 80% of people never experience chiropractic. Or if they do, it's on such a small, minute level and plane. If if they don't walk into the right office and they don't hear the right message and they don't understand that it's just about not getting banged up in a car accident and getting your whiplash taken care of, and nothing wrong with any of that stuff. I'm just saying, if they don't grasp the bigness of what this chiropractic principle is, just realize that 70, 80% of the population never, ever, ever hear this message that we have. And so it's always my charge whenever I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to my team, I'm talking to somebody, at a conference for the GCC or DE or whatever it is like, just remember how important this chiropractic thing is and just how much it's changed your life and your family's life and the lives of the people that have come through your office every day for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And they stay with chiropractic because they know how important it is to them. And just let that charge you up a little bit. Maybe you haven't done a talk in a while. Maybe you haven't done a podcast. Maybe you haven't put an advertisement out on Facebook, or even just done a lunch talk or a screening or whatever it is. Whatever ramps you up, whatever used to be the thing that you did to get that message out into the world and out into the community. Just know that you are here to be a blessing for people, and a lot of times a blessing that they don't even need or know that they need, and they certainly don't know that it's something that could absolutely change their life. That it's not all this crap that's on TikTok and Facebook about popping backs and chicks and that are half dressed and whatever it is that you see on this stupid social media garbage. That's not what chiropractic is, but that's what's getting fed to them because we're not talking louder than those people. So I don't know what else I got to give you guys tonight, but I would just say take some time tonight, tomorrow, in the upcoming days and weeks, and just reflect on how awesome chiropractic is and how much it has changed your life. And just know that there are families and there are people out there right now that need to hear the same message that you were told however many years ago you were told, and it impacted your life so much that you became a chiropractor and you started spreading that message out into the world. Try to reconnect with that. Try to revisit what that feeling was like, and then bottle that thing up and go out through that attitude of giving and loving and serving and doing out of your own abundance without any expectation of return, and just give that love out into the community the way that somebody gave it to you however many years ago it was that message changed your life. And let's just go forward as a group of awesome principled chiropractors on the same page, the same message, and let's start bringing it to the world on a bigger scale and in a bigger way, and start being more direct with people and start being more open with people about what this thing is all about and just how important it is for them and for their families and for their kids and for their unborn kids and for their spouses and their everybody to get this thing and reach as many people as you possibly can. One thing that I come back to so often in my life when I'm reflecting on stuff is just that we are, no matter what your belief system is, we can all agree that we're here for a finite amount of time. And we have only so many days and so many hours that we have to this serve this community of people, of humans. And I feel like a lot of times I waste a lot of my time not in an attitude of service. And so I would just say, let's be more purposeful with all of this and make sure we're getting this message out to as many people as we possibly can. I love and appreciate you guys, even though I've probably never met most of you in person, but I love you guys because you love what I love and you took time out of your Monday night to hang with me and let me, I don't know what that was, some kind of rant, but I appreciate it. Got me fired up. I think I'll do better tomorrow because I was on this call. So thank you guys. I love and appreciate you.
Dan, first of all, I think that people need to understand that as chiropractic itself is a minority, and principal chiropractors are much more of a minority. So it doesn't matter where we are in the country, we definitely need to share and stand together and have open discussions. Thank you so much for coming on. As you can see, most of the guys here are graybeards. Most of us in the Long Island area started under Andy Forelli. Andy had a shift and change in his life. And Leo, who's been down at DE a number of times, told me I had to keep it going. So, when I first found out about the dynamic essential, it changed my entire understanding. I have a question for you. Is Lasting Purpose, the book, still in print, and is it available at Life College or on the DE website?
It's yeah, I think you can get it on the DE website. It is still in print, yes.
Perfect. Okay, so if you guys don't have that in your library, you have to read it, because when you read that whole idea of lasting purpose, you read it in Sid's hand, it's a completely different understanding. What you did tonight is basically what separates the big players in all sports from the secondary players. You shared concrete, valuable fundamentals. Everything you said was fundamentals that we need to hear much, much more often and remember much more often. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for coming on. Greg Rubenstein told me that you were going to be amazing, and I'm not surprised. So thank you so much. Anybody else, if you please, would give Dan some accolades and thank you. This was amazing.
Thank you, Dan. I'll see you on Friday.
Yes, sir. All right. Love it. Thanks, Leo.
Take care.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Dan, thank you very much. It's been a long time since I've gone to DE. I've been doing new beginnings. It's in my backyard.
Yeah.
But it is an amazing experience. But I got to say, thank you tonight. Your strength is from your humility. And the passion comes across, and it just, with humility, that's just wonderful. And it got me. And I'm very grateful for you talking to us tonight. It
Thank
meant
you.
a lot to me. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
Dan, thank you. The passion you have for chiropractic and for service just jumps out of my laptop here. And comes right into me and sparked me up and made me want to start adjusting people right now at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your service, and I appreciate your energy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. We just wrapped up New Beginnings yesterday, and
Nice.
It's funny how everything is congruent in the universe. And I showed a video in my talk yesterday morning. That's the Honda commercial called Unstoppable Dreams. And it's so many of our stories, some more extreme than others, about feeling like you're out of things and you're at the bottom. And then all of a sudden the switch gets flipped. The principles come back into play. Your foundation comes back into play. And the reason why you became a chiropractor in the first place, and you just solidified everything that we went through the whole weekend at New Beginnings yet again. And we can't hear it enough. Like Johnny said, it's the message needs to stay constant, needs to stay congruent. And our band of brothers are certainly the people that can keep that torch lit. So thanks for coming on and sharing with us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate
Anybody else?
Yeah. Hi, John. It's Ronnie. Sorry, my camera's off. I'm driving. I just want to say thank you. It's a really good continuation for us from New Beginnings. And also, as principled as you are, that even sometimes with stuff that goes on in life, we get a little distracted. So thank you for your, being vulnerable with that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Rick, Gary, anybody else? Mark, you got to unmute yourself, brother. Mark, you're muted.
Yeah.
That happens to me.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I wasn't able to make it to New Beginnings, but I felt like I got on the call right here and I got grounded listening to you tonight. And, your passion and your certainty is what drives it all home for me. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Dan, great stuff. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
As I said, New Beginnings grew out of DE, and we're basically telling each other the same things.
Yeah.
But we need more groups telling these stories. So thank you for coming on tonight. The Band of Brothers, we're basically started in Long Island, but because of Sandy, we went on Zoom, and that's the way the world is taking us now. These guys on this call from Pennsylvania and Jersey. So
that's awesome.
There's a bunch of stuff going on. But I really want to thank you for coming on tonight. This is one of the best we've had in a while.
Yeah, Dan.
I'm going to listen to this 2 or 3 times. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you,
for
guys.
coming on.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Thank you, guys.